Before I knew my husband, when he was 29 years old, I was still in college, he decided he wasn't meant for college because he just wanted to go out and make money. So he decided he wanted to be a general contractor. And so he started himself with a group of guys and got some investors and went to work and built his business as a GC. And he was very successful at it because he worked really, really hard. And he was an entrepreneur at heart. He learned a lot about business management. When I met him in the 80s, early 80s, he was successful, already had an MBA, and I was doing consulting for businesses and stuff, and we would talk business. And he's the only guy I ever dated that could talk about regression analysis and KPIs, and because he was self-taught. Things got really hairy at the end of the 90s, or beginning of the 90s, end of the 80s, beginning of the 90s. So at that point, we made a very difficult decision, or actually he did, and with the company employees, to switch from being a general contractor where the risk was much higher to a subcontractor where you're controlling your own work as opposed to a lot of other subs. And it was like a startup, but with people in place, equipment already in place. So the focus was in developing that. And he did that extraordinarily well for right up through the recession, 2008. And still, they were such a good organization at that point that they survived and did not lose money during the recession. Unfortunately, in 2010, my husband got the diagnosis of pancreatic cancer. And by 2011, he was gone. That was not a fun time for anybody. But during that time, he and I talked a lot. He said he wanted the company to keep going. He really didn't want it to be shut down. I was a little scared when I came in. It's a high-risk business, and we were in the middle of a recession. Where in my financial planning did that exist? It didn't. It wasn't. But I've always been a problem solver. That's my strength, to be able to see beyond something and see the bigger picture and be a problem solver. I do my best work with teams. The truth is, we all do our best work with teams because no person is so talented and able that they excel in all of those areas. So when you put a team together and you work with each other, not competitively, you're much better, much stronger, and much more able. When my husband died and I came in, he had a different belief system than I did about how companies should be operated. So all the equipment was bought usually at auction. Gray iron came in here very quickly. I'm not sure he was even aware of that, but he would go to the auctions because he liked to do that, and he would buy stuff. Didn't necessarily bring his mechanic. He made his own decision. But it was always about keep it on the road, and it's free if it's paid off. Not my philosophy. Not at all. So Ben helped me switch slowly those pieces out and start to have a real plan of how and why and when we replaced things and what we replaced them with. And it took years to make that evolution. But now we have asset management that is much more efficient, and in the end, it's less costly. If you have the dollars invested in your company in equipment that most of us the size do, it behooves you to pay attention to if you're getting the best use out of it and what it actually costs you in hard costs, but also soft costs, the opportunity losses, because machine's down and you can't finish that day and you have to put it off for another day or go off the job. We bring a lot of talent, and a lot of companies do, but I think we manage our talent well. We give our talented people opportunity to grow. There's space for them to move up, to explore their goals for themselves, their opportunities. We believe strongly that our people are who we are. If you want to know who Hudgins is, take out and I'll show you who Hudgins is. And doesn't sit in this office. Hudgins is everybody that puts on a vest, everybody puts on a hard hat, everybody who comes in and sits in front of a computer. Every single person we have has a very specific job, and yet we cross-train them for a lot of different things, but we invest in them. They want to go to school, we're there. We'll help them out with that. If they want to go out and get a further education on some other issue or a safety issue or something like that, we cover it. They have ideas, they come into me, they tell me what their ideas are, and we'll act on it.
We do 2 meetings a year where everyone comes. We rent a room at a hotel, and we bring speakers. We play games that mix the office with the field. We do door prizes. We recognize in the fall work 5-year increment anniversaries, attendance awards. We usually have a safety speaker. We do safety training, CPR, first aid, competent person, confined space every year. So they know that they're safe. They know that the new people we've brought in are now trained.
We have a training program. In fact, we tell people when they come in, we can offer you a career, not just a job. Some people just want a job, and that's okay. But if you're young and you don't know what you want to do in life, and you don't mind being outside, this is not the easiest job to fill, but you enjoy being outside, we can offer you a place to grow and a place to learn. You can start at the very bottom, as many of our people in years gone by did exactly that. They started at the bottom and they worked all the way to the very top, from minimum wage to, with bonus, probably 6 figures. Putting kids through college, buying a nice home. I mean, that's not for everybody, because not everybody has the ability or the desire to, but it's there.
Now is a good time to mention that if you want to see more content like this, subscribe and click the bell icon so you can see when we post more videos.